you had, sorry, Mike, you had a little go. Obviously, you've had a few goes at management. Ultimately, you can only deal with what you've got as players, isn't it? Isn't it about the talent on the pitch? You can only do so much.
Yeah.
However much you know the game, however great a player you are, however strong a management are, the best managers are the ones that got the best players.
Yeah, of course. I don't think that's normal, but I think the issue maybe of looking too far ahead is what we're seeing over the last 10, 15 years is managers are not getting that time.
No.
So you have to be a little bit selfish as a manager and say, okay, if I don't do it now, then I might not get that time. And maybe, you know, I think that is a little bit naive to say we're looking to win the Premier League because from where they are now, they're a long way off that.
We'll get back to Wazza in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And also, don't forget, if you've got something to say, if something is bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, please put it in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments. Anyway, in this clip, this is Wayne Rooney, legendary Manchester United goal scorer and record goal scorer. He's talking about Ruben Amorim, how he's getting on, his plans for the future, and also what he thinks has gone wrong at Manchester United over the past 10 years. And stick around for after the clip because the Big D is going to be giving his thoughts on what Wazza had to say. Here he is.
He's almost got a free hit there, isn't he, this season, in a sense, because they've brought him in. It's not his team. It's not a team that can play, actually, really, in the style that he wants. So he needs time. Do you think he'll get it?
Yeah, I do think he'll get it. And I think it's not a free hit because I think you'd expect a bit more from Manchester United than what we're seeing since he's been in. It's very difficult to come in during the season and not have his pre-season to implement his plans with the team. But he has to look to the future and moving forward. And how can he, firstly, he says win the Premier League, how can he compete to get a bit further up the table? I think that's the next step for them. But ultimately, the goal moving forward over the next few years is to try and do that.
You had, sorry, Mike, you had a little go. Obviously, you've had a few goes at management. Ultimately, you can only deal with what you've got as players, isn't it? Isn't it about the talent on the pitch? You can only do so much.
Yeah.
However much you know the game, however great a player you are, however strong a management are, the best managers are the ones that got the best players.
Yeah, of course. I don't think that's normal. But I think the issue maybe of looking too far ahead is what we're seeing over the last 10, 15 years is managers are not getting that time.
No.
So you have to be a little bit selfish as a manager and say, okay, if I don't do it now, then I might not get that time. And maybe, you know, I think that is a little bit naive to say we're looking to win the Premier League because from where they are now, they're a long way off that.
Miles off.
Yeah, but you've been inside the club, Man United, obviously a huge club. But what's happened? Why has there been such a fall off? You know, you've been in the dressing room, you've played with the players, you know what it's like to be successful for Man United. How can it go from winning trophy after trophy to then now we're talking about people talking about relegation battle? You know,
I have no idea. I think since Sir Alex Ferguson left, David Gill left, I think they've tried various different managers, some top managers as well in terms of obviously Mourinho, Van Gaal, David Moyes, very experienced manager. Everyone's been in and tried to get more out the players, out the team, and obviously we're seeing changes off the pitch with Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos coming in, and a lot of speculation of different changes with the staff, with certain things around the club. So I think everyone's a little bit on edge. I think certainly now, but over the last 10 years, there's been a slow decline of the football club, and they just need to try and get some consistency in what they're doing, whether that's with the manager, with the process, recruitment, and how they want to try and move forward. And I think
key, isn't it?
if they get that right, then they will start to get better. But
I think you could even go back to, you talked about when Alex Ferguson left and stuff, but if you look at Liverpool now, they've got a new manager in Arne Slot, and it's testament to how Jurgen Klopp left the club in a really good state.
And the
structure above is really good. That probably wasn't the case at the end of Sir Alex Ferguson's reign. I know they won the league that season, but it wasn't their best side. And a lot of their players, a lot of their great players, were coming to the very ends of their careers. And then I think from there, they've had problems. They, the academy wasn't delivering the players that they were before and stuff like that.
But even
knock-on effect.
But they could go and buy the best in class. Because Man United was still a draw because of its success and its history.
But the recruitment's not been good.
The recruitment's been poor, and also now what the problem United have got, and the new manager is PSR. That you can want to get rid of 6 or 7 and bring in 4 or 5, and you might even be able to entice them in. But if you haven't got the capability of doing it financially because of PSR, you're then trying to put this jigsaw together that's really difficult to do.
When you say recruitment, though, Dan, what do you mean by that? Because the players that they've bought in have normally done well. See, Anthony at Ajax, he did really well. He's going on loan now. He's doing well. You see McTominay going to Napoli, doing well. And that's why I asked you, alluded to that before. Is it the pressure of Man United that some of the players can't deal with?
Yeah, there's certainly a big pressure, but going back to recruitment, Manchester United have spent a lot of money over the last 10 years. And I think what they've done, the structure hasn't been there because a certain manager hasn't had a long period of time to put that in place, or the club haven't put that structure of what they want in place. So they're buying players, like we see 90 million on Lukaku, on Pogba, all these players coming in as individuals, and it looks like there hasn't been a long-term plan to have this way of playing, this style, this identity of how we want to play. And then we see a new manager come in who wants his own way of playing, like we're seeing now Manchester United going to a back 3. So every time that's starting to move forward a little bit, it gets ripped up again, and because you've got a different style and different philosophy.
Well, you should applaud that then, if he's sticking by his principles. That's what you want. Because
it's whether the club sticks by their principles of having him.
I think one of the problems, though, Gary, is the fact that, you hear the reports that Man United have to sell to bring players in.
That's what I'm saying.
And that is a difficult part. Normally, historically, Man United could go buy the best players.
And the other thing, even if he gets all the backing in the world and he wants to play this system and he's financially able to bring in players, I'm not sure that system can win the Premier League against the type of teams he's coming up against. It might be more competitive in another season, but I don't think playing that way... Only one team have won the Premier League playing that way, and that was Chelsea. And let's not forget who they had in the middle of the pitch. They had Matic and Kante.
Yeah, exactly.
And they also had Costa and Hazard up the top, which is a bit different.
Well, they've got much better players overall than Manchester United.
But when you're trying to, go and win the Premier League, as the manager's saying there, you need to be in a stable position to bring the best players in. And if I'm a player playing in a different country or in a different club, Manchester United come to try and sign me now, I'm looking, thinking, I'm not sure. You the top players want Champions League football, and unfortunately, that's not where the club are at.
Well, it's like if you're at Everton now and they come in for you back in, and they're in this position, but you've also got Man City and whoever else coming. You're looking now, and
things change.
When I signed for United, United were actually in transition there with, Chelsea were dominating at that period. Arsenal, then Chelsea were. So we were in transition when I signed, and big reason why I signed was Sir Alex Ferguson. But because you knew that he'd get it right and he'd build that team again where it's hard to see that now.
It maybe needs a dominant figure like that. And it'd be interesting if Amorim is that in time, whether he'd be given that time.
I personally don't think it's naive for Ruben Amorim to say that the aim of the club is to win the Premier League. Of course it's to win the Premier League. What else would it be? Or the aim is to avoid relegation. Or the aim is to win the UEFA Conference League. No, Manchester United want to be challenging and winning the Premier League. And why not aim for the top? You're telling me young Wayne Rooney, when he was just a little whippersnapper at Everton, didn't dream of playing for England, say, or winning Champions Leagues or Premier Leagues or anything like that? No, there's nothing wrong with dreaming big, and it is at the moment a bit of a dream. I will grant you that. But that's the mandate. That's it. Ruben Amorim was brought in to win the league. Now, Ruben Amorim's not saying United are going to win the league this season. He's not even necessarily saying that they're going to win it next season. He's not even saying that they're going to do it with him. He said the aim of the club is to win the Premier League. So it's not naive for him to say that. However, the Big D does think Ruben Amorim has been naive since he joined Manchester United. And he, well documented on this channel that, but I'll give you the broad strokes. What I feel Ruben Amorim should have done was, when he came in, he should have carried on as normal with Ruud van Nistelrooy in there. Played 4-2-3-1, got the best out of a bad bunch, and just collected points and slowly phased in his style over the course of the season, so that when pre-season comes next year, one, you know, they might have a respectable position in the league, and two, they will be able to hit the ground running in this new tactic in the summer, and plus by then he'll have had 2 transfer windows with which he could have brought in some players that would have suited his system, that he wanted, that he'd have liked. But he didn't do that. And at the same time, the Big D does admire him for sticking to his guns, because there has been instances in the past where managers have just kind of ticked along, collected points, made the best out of a bad bunch, and then eventually been sacked. But this time, Ruben Amorim is like, no, this is the marker. This is what we're going to do. We're going to stick by this through thick and thin until you get it right. And then, eventually, after 6 months or so, away we go. So, no, I mean, I don't think Ruben Amorim has been naive in how Wayne Rooney's alluded to there. Not at all. In fact, I'd have, you know, if it was me, if I was Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I'd be saying, well, he did say, you know, the aim for Manchester United should be to, you know, winning the Premier League and the Champions League. That is Manchester United. That's it. Simple as that. So no, I'm not having that. But in terms of how he's managed the team so far, I feel as though he's been naive. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Hopefully he can salvage something out of the season. And I nearly said that there. I nearly said, hopefully we can win the Europa League. But we just don't have the firepower to be able to do that. I can't see where the goals are coming from. And after watching that game, we are kind of improving as a team, but we just don't know how to score goals. We can't score goals. If that team gets a regular goal scorer in that team, I mean, it improves dramatically. That's what that team is lacking right now, is a regular goal scorer. So if we're able to do that, then maybe next season will at the very least be entertaining to watch for a United fan, and not inverted as it is this season, because it's entertaining for every other fan, just not Man United fans. The Big D nearly got a ticket for the Arsenal game today. Could have got one, but the amount of money that they wanted to charge the Big D for what we're going to get, no thank you. But he's going to the Sociedad game. He's looking forward to that one. But yeah, no, I don't think Ruben Amorim is being naive in what Wayne Rooney's suggesting there. I think that's quite right. Bold statement. And if Amorim's tenure has been sort of marked by one thing, and that is he has set a marker. And the marker is, up here, you need to reach this standard. This is what it is. I ain't budging. You either come along for the ride or you don't. And the marker is this standard in training, this style, and we're winning the Premier League eventually. And it doesn't take a massive rebuild to win a league. Not at all. Not at all. You can get a winning side, a potentially title-winning side in 3 transfer windows. Potentially. Well, it's not even in theory. You can do that, potentially. As long as you buy the right players and you've got the right coach in place. So hopefully Amorim is the right coach long term, and we're able to sort of make the most of future transfer windows. And I've been quite happy with the past 2 transfer windows, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, how did it get so bad? Well, there was a couple of points mentioned there. Gary Lineker mentioned something there that I didn't agree with, but I mean, it's Gary Lineker, so... Gary Lineker. He says, Arne Slot's done so well, because that's a testament to how Jurgen Klopp left the team. And it's like, well, yeah, Jurgen Klopp did a fantastic job. Of course he did. But that's because they had a footballing project in place. And the fact that they were able to interchange head coach so smoothly and they've hit the ground running is a testament to their their footballing project, their director of football, the technical directors, and all the guys at the back. So it's not so much what Jurgen Klopp left necessarily. Obviously, he has a big part in that, but it's not all him, because the game's changed since Alex Ferguson was in charge. Alex Ferguson was the footballing project at Manchester United. And as soon as he left, the Glazers didn't replace that footballing project with a new one. And we've just been chopping and changing head coaches ever since. And in fact, now is the first time post Alex Ferguson that Manchester United have got a footballing project. And that was the reason why we've gradually gotten worse over the past 10 years, because of a lack of a footballing project. And it's the fact that we've still been able to spend the money over the past 10 years. We've still been able to attract a certain calibre of player at the very least. It just hasn't worked out because the footballing project's not been there. So that's what's happened in a nutshell. Anyway, at Manchester United, and yeah, slow decline. Well, yeah, slow decline. And sometimes you need to make drastic decisions in order to stop that decline and reverse it and slowly build back up again. And when I say slowly, I mean it won't take another 10 years. I hope not, anyway. I'm in two minds a little bit at the moment. Is Alex Ferguson, is Ineos another Mike Ashley kind of situation, or is he just making tough, unpopular decisions that's best for the club long term? I don't know. I'm just trying to think, is there anything from a business point of view that I disagree with what he's done? I'm not sure he has, to be honest. He's getting rid of Deadwood, like in the playing staff. He's getting rid of people behind the scenes who clearly they don't need. I do think it's been a bit petty with the food in the canteen business, but there you go. So I don't know. The transfers have been good anyway. Big D's like the transfers. But yeah, I mean, no. Naivety. Not in that sense that Wayne Rooney's making. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think that Ruben Amorim has been naive so far in his tenure at Manchester United? Do you think he could have made life easier for himself? Or do you agree with what he's doing and how he's doing it? Thoughts in the comments. And how long do you think he'll get before he has to really start to get results? Is it this season? Or do you think at the very least he'll get the summer? And if he gets the summer, does he have to hit the ground running spectacularly for him to be able to keep his job by the end of the year? Because the Big D thinks so. The Big D thinks that if Ruben Amorim doesn't have this team purring by October latest, then I think we'll have a new manager. But we'll see. I hope not. I hope he's the right guy, and I hope Man United kick on, and I hope this is just the calm before the storm. No. Well, I hope this is the calm before the storm for everyone else. Everyone coming to Old Trafford and just finding an insipid Manchester United, and then hopefully by the time August comes and we haven't been relegated, then all of a sudden we unleash the Kraken, so to speak. But we'll see. We'll certainly see. Anyway, as I say, thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching this far, and the Big Deal. See you in the next one.